Alright, we live. Alright, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, want to give all the praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Kakodash.
Double honor to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us His truth with the Holy Spirit. And as always, we're giving a special peace and blessings and salutations to the elect. Alright, we out here another week to teach the words of Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai. And to let you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans know that you are the true children of Israel according to the Bible. Alright, and that you need to repent before the Lord comes and destroys this place by thermonuclear fire. Alright, we also out here to let you know that America is Babylon the Great, pursuant to Revelation 17, Revelation 18. Alright, and that the Lord is going to destroy this place, like I said, via nuclear fire. So repentance is key in these latter times. Alright? So go ahead.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, verse 1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when you see part of the signs pass, which I have told you before, then you shall understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right, and when you measure in the times, what are you doing? You're paying attention to what's going on. All right, you keeping up with the current events. All right, you filtering things through the scriptures. All right, you constantly watching, the news, not this fluff news, but what we call it, alternative news. People that's giving you real information, and you filtering all these things through the scriptures. You measuring the time diligently. All right, go ahead.
Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Right, and
this sounds like Matthew 24. And right now you have a lot of uproars pursuing to the Roe versus Wade thing. A lot of these women and even men too, they're upset because in certain states you basically can't murder.
And you had after I think he got caught in the court where they made the decision. You had people on the side of abortions calling for violence starting at 8 p.m. And you had that earthquake happen. What was the earthquake happen? It's an earthquake. He said 1,000 people died in the earthquake. What was that at?
In the Middle East.
Yeah, I think Pakistan is some shit. Pakistan. And so, huh? Yeah, you had that earthquake. So he said we should see and you got uproars of the people about these food shortages coming, about the gas prices.
Well, hey, that abortion thing, that was done on June 24th, 2022. You take all those numbers and you add them bracket 666.
Yep. Because 6 months, 2, 4, 6, and then 2.
And 1,000 people dying in one day from an earthquake was crazy.
Yeah, because a lot of, we've been having, it's been earthquakes on a regular basis happening around the world. But if you had any casualties at all, it would be like 3, 4, shit like that. 1,000. Hey, that's a lot of people, and they still finding people.
The numbers don't keep going up. They can find people under, all that.
Then you shall well understand that the Most High spoke of these things from the days that were before you, even from the beginning.
Yeah, because the Lord gave us signs to when the end was going to come. The disciples asked the Lord when was the end going to come, and He gave them signs. So we are to pay attention to those signs and hearken. We're supposed to hearken too. When we heard this word, we hearkened to the word. Go ahead.
For like all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
Right, the end is manifest. Somebody give me Habakkuk 2 real quick. I think it's start at the first verse, matter of fact. Habakkuk 2 and 1. The end is manifest. If you can't see that we at the end, you ain't got no spiritual eye. You're not spiritual. All these prices that's being jacked up in these latter times, they're not gonna go back down, man. Somebody got it? Go ahead.
It's Habakkuk
2:1. I will stand upon my watch, and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. When the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it.
Right, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. Go ahead.
And it said, I will stand upon my watch. Because like the brother said, you're supposed to be watching and taking peek at what's going on every little thing.
For the vision is dead for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
Yeah, it's going to begin to speak, meaning you're going to be able to see it. When it's speaking, that means you can see it. And then, like I said, we always filter things through the Holy Scriptures. Because that's what makes it true. When you can filter things through the Scriptures, that's what makes it true. Because the Word is truth. Go ahead.
Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come or will not tarry.
Right, so that means we can't lack faith and get weak. Because it don't come when you want it to come. It's going to come when the Most High wants it to come. You know? The destruction of America, Babylon the Great, and these Edomites going into slavery, that's all going to come in due time. And every other thing you prophesy about, it's all going to come in due time. But one of the main attributes you got to have in this truth is patience. You got to have patience. Because if you don't got patience, you're not going to last. You're not going to make it. That's right.
Hey, look how many times in the truth the Lord has made something major happen, and then nothing happens for a year.
Yep.
You know, we thought we were going to get out of here in 2020, 2021 when the pandemic.
Yeah, when I first came into the truth, I went to New York City to go with the apostles. I told my mom that I would never see me again.
I remember when Russia first went to Ukraine in what was it, 2014. I thought, man, that was it.
Nah, when the Boston bombing happened.
Or Ebola. Remember we were partying over Ebola.
The Lord oftentimes he tested us with waiting. You know, when we was in the wilderness and Moses went up to the mountain, you know, he was up there for a while. And you know, Israel didn't have patience, and you should already know what happened after that.
Yeah.
He was in the wilderness for 40 years. Yeah. Now keep on.
Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
See, the just shall live by faith. The just shall live by faith. We're very faith-based. We're supposed to be. You know? Everything that we believe is based upon faith in the Scriptures. All right? And all these Israelite men and a certain amount of women waking up in these latter times, that alone, the fact that we're standing upon our feet all around the world and teaching that we're the Israelites, that alone should tell you that these scriptures are true, because the Lord said that was going to happen in the latter times, that the children of Israel would awake, stand upon their feet.
And the fact that there's so many so-called sisters coming in now, like not just zipper at the end.
Yeah, also, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and as dead.
Yeah, he transgressed by wine. That's going into his philosophy, man. That's how Esau is. You know, he's the forger of lies. All right, the master of disaster. His whole kingdom is based upon lies, wicked philosophies, unrighteous decrees. And it says neither keep it at home, because he tries to police the whole world. Anytime something bad happens in another country, here comes Esau. And we gotta aid it, we gotta fix it. With his democracy and his wickedness. He's never minding his business. He's got military bases in almost every damn country. All these different military bases and garrisons and all that. So he tries to play the good guy on earth, but really he's bringing wickedness everywhere. Everywhere he goes, he brings death.
Malachi 1:4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, we will return and build the desolate places. Okay, and that's what Esau's doing, man. Right? He knows that these cities are done. It's over with. I mean, they could only do so much with the infrastructure besides outright replacing it. So he's trying to build these smart cities, man. He's trying to destroy the old way and build with this new way. You know? Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
And that's how you prove that he's the wicked. Malachi, the 1st chapter. They shall call them the border of wickedness. All right, and it starts off saying, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. The infrastructure in Babylon is done. The bridges are decayed. The buildings are done. The streets are done. Because this is the end of this man's rulership. And this is the end of his society.
And these devils, okay, they're talking about rolling blackouts all summer. That's an infrastructure problem. Then they want everybody to get these electric cars. What the hell are they going to do when 50 million people plug in their cars and charge at midnight? They can't even withstand what's going on now. This man is through, man. And he's got all these people leaking out his plans. All right, now you got all these whistleblowers coming out saying, we totally crushed it through us all off guard, ruined all our plans. Now we got to regroup. Well, that was the Lord, man. He had to stir things up. He had to put a wrench in the pot. That was it on that. That was it. All right, go ahead.
This is Obadiah 1 and 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
So that proves that the Edomites are going to be completely done away with. And that's going to be a beautiful day, but before that takes place, they have to serve a very, very harsh captivity under the children of Israel, starting with Yahweh. Okay? Because they're going to have to build up our kingdom. They're going to have to go through a dark time in captivity. They're going to have to go through a great payback. But when it's all said and done, they're going to be completely done away with. Stubborn. Go ahead.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
And that's the main reason. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, the Lord, the apple of the Lord's eye, the Lord's chosen people. The violence that they've done against us. All manner of wickedness. This man went overboard. All right, go ahead.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever.
See, shame is going to cover him. He's going to be cut off forever. It tells us in Job, he's going to fly away as a dream, as a vision of the night. They that once seen him smite him shall say, where is he? Go ahead.
Children and put them in the metaverse, man. They want your whole family to be in the metaverse. Because that's really their plans, man. When you look at the learned protocol, or the protocols of learned elders of Zion, they want to completely destroy the family unit. Okay, everybody's going to be an individual.
They show that in the movie The Matrix. Remember when they had to pull out the thing, and there was a whole bunch of people stuck in this wired up. That's basically a whole bunch of people living in the metaverse. It's like in the Matrix.
Go ahead. It's Obadiah 1 and 11. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side.
Hold on. Got it? You got it already?
Psalms 37 and 37. Mark the perfect man and behold the upright, for the end of that man is peace, but transgressors shall be destroyed together. The end of the wicked shall be cut off. But the salvation of the righteous is of the Lord, and he is their strength in time of trouble.
Yeah, so it's going to be the wicked. At the end of the day, it's going to be the wicked, all right, which is Esau, all right? 2/3 of our people are even wicked. They're going to be cut off with this man too. They're not going to be cut off forever, but they're going to be destroyed with him on this side. All right? Go ahead.
And the Lord shall help them and deliver them, and he shall deliver them from the wicked and save them because they trusted in him.
And the remnant is going to be delivered from the wicked. We must be delivered from these unreasonable and wicked men. That's what salvation is. To be delivered from amongst the wicked. You know, and that's why we come out here and sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof.
I mean, this devil, man, he wants a system of total control. You got over there in Australia, now they're saying that you got to check with the government before you can even plant a garden in your own house, right? That's what kind of control this devil wants.
Yeah.
And here in America, he's creating laws where you could only have gardens of a certain size in your yard. You got to pay taxes on your own homegrown food.
You don't see things like that no more. You don't see gardens. People don't have gardens no more. At least not where we live at. But you used to see that a lot when you was younger. You used to see people with gardens in their yard. But Esau wants you to 100% depend on him. That's why he's dumbing, especially these fucking kids, man. That's why he's dumbing the children down. These kids are so dumb and docile that they don't even want to be active. The technology has completely made them stupid. So the generation that's coming is going to be coming up. It's going to be even worse.
Go ahead. Get what you got. Go ahead. It's the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumph of the wicked is short?
Right, the triumphing of the wicked is short. The scriptures say in Revelation that he was going to be loose for a little season, right? So his little season is basically up. You know, once he came back during the time of the Renaissance, which means rebirth, I believe, that was the time where his wicked ass came out the caves, right? And he began to reign upon the earth. Now his little season is up. When he came throughout Europe and committed all types of iconoclasm, taking down the dark images, putting up images of Edomites. And there were so many dark images that they couldn't even destroy them all. That's how we still have proof today. You know? So he came out from his caves, his decrepit state, and the Most High put him in power. So, and that's the little season that it's talking about in Revelation. Now his little season is up. Go ahead.
Verse 5, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reacheth unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung.
Right, he shall perish forever like his own dung, meaning his own shit. Alright, he's going to perish forever. All this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that the Most High gave him is going to be taken away from him. All the riches and gold that he has is going to be taken away from him. Go ahead.
They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night.
Like it says in Obadiah. All right, they shall be cut off forever. For the violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. Go ahead.
The eye also which saw him shall see him no more.
Shall see him no more, because he's going to be cut off. All right. He shall be stubble. The house of Jacob shall be as a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. Go ahead.
Neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods.
His hands shall restore their goods. Everything he raped, robbed, and murdered for, right? Everything he took, and he took everything by force. Esau don't ask for nothing. He'll go on your land, blow you away, take what you got.
And you look at what's going on with the political climate. Esau acts like he's on your side, man.
Yep.
Like he supports you.
That's it.
And then anybody who doesn't agree is cast off, and it's him seeking to please the poor. He acts like he's on your side. He's got all these billionaires and celebrities supporting the whole abortion thing, the Momo movement.
He'll turn you into the boogeyman.
Mm-hmm.
You could be a nation minding your business, but if you got something that he wants, he'll come in there, do some wickedness, may start a war with you, and then make you the boogeyman, put you on his media.
Hey, like for an example, over there in Africa, I don't know who it was Uganda or somewhere else. They discovered over 30 tons of gold. In Uganda, they discovered over 30 tons of gold recently. Esau gonna go over there. He go end up over there for sure. He go get his hands in it. That's over 30 tons of gold that they about to start mining. Esau gonna get his hands on there, and it's gonna become some kind of controversy or something with that country.
Definitely controversy. You got China, China's allies with Russia.
And China got a contract for like 21 or 22 years to mine gold over there. So it's gonna be some shit going on with that.
Verse 11, his bones are full of the skin of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Verse 12, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hideth under his tongue.
Yeah, though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue. All right, and how does he use that? How does he use his wickedness to spread it throughout the world? His media. And that's witchcraft, that's enchantment. You got hundreds of media outlets telling you the same shit every day, over and over and over. And these simps, people that don't have a mind of their own, they begin to believe it. And they begin to become enchanted. Esau will push fear on the people in 24 hours, man. Quick. Put it on every media station. Go ahead.
Verse 13,
That's why you had these people running around with two-faced diapers. They running to get the applesauce. They were afraid. Because that's all they heard every day was death. Every day they turned on the TV, it was just death. So what's that going to do to a person in the world? It's going to scare the shit out of them.
And there's still some people wearing fucking masks.
Oh, there's a lot of them.
That's
And
like
they still can't wait for the new version of the sauce to come out so they could run and get it. Even though your boy Fauci got 4 of them and he still got it. Like, come on, man.
And Fauci didn't get those. Speaking as a man, I don't believe Fauci didn't get those. He didn't get
Shalom, brothers.
You got the pharmaceutical grade. We all got the.
They got the public grade.
Yeah, the public grade.
The one they give to the public.
verse 13, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth.
Scripture say, never trust thine enemy. All right? As iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. You can't trust these Edomites, man. Go ahead.
Yet his meat is in his bones, his turn, it is the goal of acts within whom he hath. Verse 15, he hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again.
He took everything by force. Go ahead.
The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. He shall suck the poison of asps.
Yeah, so everything that he took, the scriptures say, his hands shall restore their goods. All right? So he's going to have to give everything back. All that gold that the elites have, we going to get that. And there's a lot more gold and silver that's in the earth that Esau has never discovered or touched. See, one thing you got to understand is the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, but this man ain't really explored the earth like that. The scriptures say he has bounds that he cannot pass. The earth is roughly 70% water. And this nigga can't even go to the bottom of the ocean.
Even Google will tell you that like 5%, they only discovered like 5%.
Yeah, if that.
If that, 5% of that. That's not even the full surface. That's just a little bit of the outskirts.
And there's a lot of different parts of the land that he hasn't touched. So, you know, he has bounds that he cannot pass.
This is 1 Chronicles chapter 16, verse 29. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering and come before him. Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness. Fear before him all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. Let the heavens be glad, and let the earth rejoice, and let men say among the nations, the Lord reigneth. Let the sea roar in the fullness thereof. Let the fields rejoice in all that is therein. Then shall the trees of the woods sing out at the presence of the Lord, because he cometh to judge the earth. No. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for he is good, for his mercy endures forever.
Yes, at the end of the day, man, we got to be deliberate, you know?
The Lord coming to judge the earth.
Give me Isaiah 13.
Is the Lord coming to judge the earth? He coming to take out Esau. He coming to take out the wicked of the nation of Israel. He coming to take out these evil nations. But the Lord is merciful if you diligently seek the Lord and doing what you got to do to please the Heavenly Father and His Son.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 13, verse 9. Behold, the day of the Lord comes, cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners there out of it.
Yeah, but the day of the Lord cometh cruel with wrath and fierce anger to lay the land desolate. Yep. And the land is going to be laid desolate via the arrow that the Most High is going to shoot. He'll put the spirit on the kings of the earth to shoot the weapons of his indignation. And this land is going to be made desolate.
Like when these pestilences and viruses and diseases and famines really jump off, it's going to seem real cruel. This is going to be a lot of pain and suffering. Because children go get it, women go get it, old, young, it don't matter. It's going to be a real cruel, evil time.
It's not going to be evil, it's going to be righteous and beautiful, because he's going to be destroying the sinners out of it. That's what he said, he's going to destroy the sinners out of it. So they need to repent. The day of the Lord is a good day for us. It's just not a good day for everybody else.
Yeah, to the world it's going to be a cruel time. You're going to have a lot of people out here bugging out, going crazy. Go ahead.
Say, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in its going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. And I will punish the world for their evil, and the wicked for their iniquity.
Yep.
And I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. So it's an attack on proud, evil people, the arrogant, the haughty.
And that's what you see now. Everybody's proud. 2020, people wasn't acting like this. People wasn't out here enjoying themselves. They was afraid. The Crown Royal first hit, that was 2020, right? Yeah. Now everybody act easy. The world is act easy.
And I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than a golden wedge of Ophir. Therefore I will shake the heavens and cause the earth shall remove out of her place.
Yeah, the earth shall remove out of her place, like it says in Isaiah. The earth shall build to and fro like a drum.
In the wrath of the Lord of hosts, in that day of his fierce anger.
Yeah, that's the wrath. That's the wrath of the Lord of hosts. Because at the end of the day, when the Lord visits this place place, he's not going to visit this place in peace. All right? He's going to visit this place with great anger and wrath. Okay? And the wicked are going to be judged. Got it?
Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 14. The great day of the Lord is near. It is near and hasted great.
And that's the message. The day of the Lord is getting ready to come. So if you don't repent, you're simply going to be put to death. It's very easy. Go ahead.
Even the voice of the day of the Lord, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress,
Yep.
a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness,
Go ahead.
a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities
Yep.
and against the high towers, and it will bring distress upon men,
The Lord's going to bring distress. Go ahead.
that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord,
Yep.
and their blood shall be poured out as dust.
See, you see everything that we're reading should spark fear in you, especially if you're an Israelite. When you read scriptures like this, that's supposed to move you. It's supposed to be moved with fear. But the majority of our people are not moved with fear. 66.6% are not moved with fear. So now we come to the conclusion and the understanding that they just want to die. So now what should we do? We're supposed to seek out men that's like-minded. That's why we out here fishing for the elect. We're not out here to just tell every single Israelite, you know, a nigga, well, we gonna tell them to repent, but we really don't be out here for the elect. All right?
And their flesh as the dung.
Yep, like we read earlier. Go ahead.
Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath.
We know that's going into the, money. Money's not going to be able to help you escape the day of the Lord. You got to have that mark in Ezekiel the 9th chapter. Is that Ezekiel 9? You got to have that mark, which is to be exempt from the judgment. That's a mark that's spiritual. Okay? Because when the angels come to destroy, you got that spiritual mark to be exempt from judgment. The angels gonna go around you. The angels are gonna spare you. All right. So you gonna have, and hey, I never thought about it like this, but you gonna have people that's gonna have the spiritual mark. You gonna have people that have the physical mark. You gonna have the tawa, they gonna have the karagma. That's a balance. Go ahead.
But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy.
Yep.
For he shall make even a speedy riddance.
Yeah, those missiles you got a lot of missiles being polished right now. That's actually a job. People's job is to keep missiles clean, polished. People down there, they shining the missiles up. They probably looking at the down there doing it. One day that shit will be shot off on the silent. They have a missile from here, all the way to the damn hotel, man. Long missile with hundreds of warheads inside it. That was it.
A speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
It's Isaiah 24 and 6. Isaiah 24 and 6. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and few men left in it.
Yeah, people gonna be burnt to a crisp. That's missile food right there. The inhabitants of the earth shall be burnt. You know how they gonna be burned? Those warheads are gonna hit the land. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that he who flees from the noise of the fear shall fall into a pit, and he that cometh out the midst of the pit shall be taken in a snare, for the windows on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake.
Yeah, and why do you think the elites have mountain retreats and underground bunkers? Because the elite know the scriptures are true. All right, the elite amongst Esau, these different Illuminati families that are in high places, they understand and know that they're the Edomites. They already know who they are. All right, so they're gonna try to escape the iron weapon.
Yeah.
And Salaki, they are gonna escape, just to be taken.
And I'll be watching, like information videos and channels like preppers and stuff, and they said a lot of elites and rich people already in those bunkers already.
Yeah.
So it ain't even gonna be a last minute thing. They already there dwelling right now.
The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved.
Yep.
The earth is moved exceedingly. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage.
Yeah, that those missiles are gonna cause a whole bunch of earthquakes. Lots and lots and lots of earthquakes.
And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again.
And that's talking about his rulership, because we know that the earth abideth forever. But his rulership is going to fall and not rise again. And that's where the fulfillment comes in, where it says Esau is the end of the world. That means his rulership is finished. Real quick, you got more? All right, go ahead.
It say, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high,
That's talking
and
about
the kings on the earth upon it.
That's talking about the elite, because they're the kings of the earth. They're the ones that make the laws, make the decrees, the ones that you don't see. You don't see the elite. They ain't on CNN and Fox. You're not going to turn on Fox and see.
You wouldn't even know. If you was in the room with them, you probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't, yeah, you ain't going to see them. You know, because they're behind the scenes. They have front men to do their work. Go ahead.
And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and shall be shut up in prison. After many days, they shall be visited.
Yeah, because you got to understand that, like I said, the Most High is going to make it to where they escape. Why? Because when the dust settles, all right, they're going to be taken.
Yep. Let me say this. That it's just like that's like the ultimate. It's all Israel will be saved at the end, but the ultimate reward is to get delivered. And then the ultimate hell for them, like all these Edomites, a lot of them gonna get burnt up in the nuclear fire. But the scariest part is gonna be the Edomites that survive and get cooking. They have to get, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna be like a lot of these Edomites gonna be born in slavery.
You got to think when it takes place, when because they're gonna be taken after the dust settles.
Yeah.
And that's when New Jerusalem is gonna come down. So when they taken from they bunkers, we're not gonna look like this.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see a dude that's 5'8", 5'11" coming to get you 140. We're gonna be in a whole different avatars.
Hey man, you
know?
look at the saying, cut off the head and the rest will fall.
Yeah.
That's how they look at it.
Yeah, but you gotta think like they on top right now. They at the very top, and then they fall gonna be that low. Wham! Then they gotta live through that transition to being up. Because we going the elect, the ones that we live, gonna have that transition to being on the bottom.
Trading places.
Yeah.
And well, that's a fulfillment of Isaiah the 14th chapter, the 12th verse, where it speaks about how thou, right here, verse 14. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down from the ground, which did speak of the nations?
Yeah, and that's talking about him falling from his power seat. Now the church will teach you that Satan got kicked out of heaven. And that's why it's so hard for our people to believe the Bible. Because when you teach it to them, it sounds like some fairy tale shit.
It's crazy because people always see me and be like, you a Muslim, right? And I always got a Bible, you feel me though? I always tell my sister about it, but they like, nah, that shit chocolate is different. You know what I'm saying? It's a good song.
These churches, when they break down the scriptures, it sounds very what's the word? What's fiction? Is fiction fake? Yeah, it sounds fiction. Like yeah, Satan was up in heaven playing the piano, and then God got mad at him and he kicked him out of heaven and he fell. Where did he land at? Where he land? What continent? You know what I'm saying? It just sounds stupid. Lucifer means light bearer. All right, and right now Esau has the light. And then when you keep reading down, what you're gonna do, it tells you. It says, "Is this the man?" So this is talking about a man. Keep going, read it.
Continuing on at verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the side of the pit.
Oh, there's another fallacy. Hell.
Yeah. So you mean how far we gotta dig to get to hell? If you so damn hot, how would we feel it? You know, like that movie Little Nicky. Y'all ever seen Little Nicky?
Yeah.
You know they had the niggas just dropping down. It's all bullshit, man. But a pastor, hey bro, you gonna go to hell? You better behave.
The unlimited Popeye's chicken in heaven, according to fucking Little Nick. That's that fear, man.
That's the fear, man. Go ahead. The scriptures tell you that all souls go to the Most High when you die. The Most High is the Father of spirits. Right. Go ahead.
Verse 14. Verse 14. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
And that's the attitude of who? Esau and Edom. O thou most proud. Go ahead.
Verse 16. They that see him, verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit.
And this sounds like what we read in Job. He's going to be brought low. Go ahead.
They that see shall narrowly look upon and consider thee. Where you at? 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider, saying,
And they shall consider. Go ahead.
Is this the man?
Is this the man? So how the hell is he talking about a red guy with a pitchfork? Go ahead.
That made the earth to tremble?
That made the earth to tremble? Go ahead.
That did weaken the kings? That did shake kingdoms?
Yep.
That made the world a wilderness?
Yep.
And destroyed the cities thereof?
And destroyed the cities thereof. And it tells us that Babylon is the hammer of the earth. Right? Babylon is the hammer of the earth. Okay, go ahead.
That opened not the house of his prisoners?
So that proves that it's talking about starting with a man, but ultimately a nation of people. All right?
And if I can add, when you rewind to the second verse, it speaks about we're gonna have them in captivity.
Yep.
You know, if I can read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
14, Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over them, over their oppressors.
Yeah, the main nation that oppressed us is the nation of Edom. All right, we read Psalms 83, it mentions him first. He's the main nation that oppressed us. He's still oppressing us to this day. You have something?
I got a couple.
Go ahead.
You want to finish up in there?
I got 11.
This is Psalm 11:4.
Read all the ones you got. Break it down.
This is Psalm 11:4. The Lord is in his holy temple. The Lord's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold. His eyelids try the children of men. Right? Because we've been getting into judgment, right? Yeah, they got a good judgment coming or a bad judgment coming. Everybody's gonna have to get judged. All right, whether you're of the mountains or of the hills, right? The greater nations and the lesser nations. Okay, whether you're Jacob, whether you're Esau, whether you're Moab, whether you're Ishmael, everybody's got to get the judgment. The Lord trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. And we brought out the scripture about how he doesn't keep at home, man. He's a violent man, and he doesn't keep at home. Okay, he's covered the whole earth with violence. All right, this is a man who's manufacturing shortages right now, so that he can have the people get violent with each other and break down all this order, man. All right, it's the old thing, divide and conquer.
It was like 100 food processing plants that mysteriously caught fire in like the last year and a half.
And now they're catching, and now they're destroying the ones in other countries, man. So now it's no longer a conspiracy. The Lord tried the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and a horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup, which is what? The nuclear destruction, man. All you lower level Edomites, man, you gotta remain here to get that judgment, man. All right, but like we've been bringing out, like the scriptures say, more importantly, these elites, man, they're starting to go into hiding. You know, they got it all planned out. All right, they know the roadmap. They share their roadmaps with each other.
But none of them live in Babylon.
No,
They don't live here. They pretty much like their hands with this place. So this was the most precious, free, the most beautiful place on earth. The elites would be here. They all live in Europe. You know? They look at America like that. This shit is filthy.
Hey, in California, they said like 300,000 people to Mexico. They left. Mexico's supposed to be a so-called third world country.
Right.
But they left the greatest place on earth to go to Mexico.
Yeah, because you better believe that there's very beautiful parts of Mexico. You know? And that's south, that's, what is that? Is middle? Central. Yeah, Central America. Hey, it's you know it's beautiful parts of Mexico. You know?
man, and hey, they could go to Honduras. They could go to what else is over by there? Ecuador, Costa Rica. You got all kinds of places they could go, man. All kinds of tourist traps.
Earlier we was talking about how the elect is going to go down to the bunkers and take them out. And since we're going into the bunkers, a bunch of refugees going into the bunkers. This is Isaiah chapter 16, verse 6. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, and the Lord said, behold, I will send for many fishers, said the Lord, and they shall fish them, and after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain, and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. I'm going to go into the bunkers and take the lead. It's slavery. That's the prophecy.
You get that one in Amos too. Amos 5.
Verse 17. For my eyes are upon all their ways, they are not hid from my face.
Yeah, so like I said, they're going to be taken once the dust settles. Once New Jerusalem comes down from heaven, which is the remnant coming out of those ships. Because you got to understand, once we go into those ships, we're going to instantly be changed in the twinkling of an eye. So like I said, when these elites and these different kings of the earth, when they see us, they're going to see us in a totally different state. You know, in different avatars. And that's what's really going to put fear on their asses. You know? The spirit, and when we get them avatars in the new body, we're going to be excited.
It's gonna be like how the angels, that fear they had, like they don't even want to look at you. They're gonna think you're the Most High. They're gonna like that guy.
We're gonna have an Israelite aura.
They say that in
How? What was that movie? Steve Boy when he was fighting with the Roman.
Right, 1872.
Let me finish.
So enough.
You got more?
Yeah, I'm about to finish. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from my eyes.
Yeah, they're not hid from the Lord's face. So when they see us, we're gonna have an aura, a super glow around us.
And it's going to be a vibration that's going to shake up their spirits, man.
Yep.
They're going to be totally afraid.
This is Zechariah 8:20. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, it shall yet come to pass that there shall come people and the inhabitants of many cities, and the inhabitants of one city shall go to another, saying, let us go speedily to pray before the Lord and to seek the Lord of hosts. I will go also. Yeah, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray. Yea, many people and strong nations shall come to seek the Lord of hosts in Jerusalem and to pray before the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations. All the nations, they are going to come. Go ahead. Even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew.
It's our skirt. So they're going to take the skirt, they're going to say what? What they going to say?
That even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that Yahweh is with you.
And they're going to be on their nuts. No, like, whatever you say, that's what's going to go.
Hey, but I was gonna say, because right now we don't have the well, we do, the brothers that's in the truth, but us as a nation, we're looked at as trodden down people that are hurt. Like when the other nations see us, they supposed to look at us with fear. The Most High took that, but He gonna give it back. You know, He gonna give that back to us.
And they supposed to, they really get Deuteronomy 4th chapter, 4 and 4.
Can we move down?
Because this how it's like they supposed to have fear. They're supposed to also be like amazed. Even if it's a limitation too. We're supposed to be the joy of the whole earth. We're gonna be like that again.
This is Deuteronomy 4:4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your power are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments.
And that's where it begins. We're gonna do statutes and judgments. We do them things.
I say that that's what separated us from the other nations, the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what made us holy. Go ahead.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my God commanded me, that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
That's how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be like, damn, these motherfuckers supposed to smart as hell. Like, word. Or like the way we move, they're supposed to be like, damn, man, that's how we should do things. Shit like that. Okay, we gonna do it like them.
They kind of still kind of look
No,
at us.
but you gotta look at our nation destroyed them. So they like, look at them motherfuckers.
I mean, think of how many people we've seen just at camp without paying attention.
Yeah,
Wearing
kind of.
masks. I didn't see not one white man, one white woman wearing masks. It was all changed. You can walk by.
I mean, yeah, you right on some of them, like, it's certain some good points that
It's like we destroyed, but we still the salt of the earth.
yeah, it's tough, but I can do it the right way. You gotta be doing it the right way.
Yeah, right now, see, Jake separates themselves by being athletic. You know, it's certain things that we do. Yeah, there's certain things that we do that still show that we're above the nations. Like just talent, our looks, the way we do things. Even though we're on the bottom, the other nations still can't do certain shit that we do. You know, that's why we any type of talent perspective, Jake is the best. anything. We do everything the best. You know, that right there alone lets you know that we the salt of the earth. But once the Lord give us the law, statutes, and commandments back and they put them in our inward parts, that's really gonna separate us. The other nations, like the brother read, they gonna look at us like, damn, they didn't touch me. And right now, that's what makes us so damn downtrodden, is that we sin. Jake is always sinning. And that's what keeps us separate from our power. That's why this truth is a threat. Because when we connect back with Yahweh Shem Shai, then we become untouchable.
Right. Because like the Lord don't fucking like, especially. I mean, with that, we ain't gotta worry about the for war and nothing. But like in the ancient times, if a nation came up against us, the Lord fucking destroy their ass, like, and let them know, they would know, like, yo, that's
Man, and it went both ways, man. There were times when we angered the Lord and he would send another nation after us. You know?
Hey, for example, when we came out of Egypt, you know, that story, the whole world knew about that story.
Lord destroying the Egyptians.
Still talked about to this day.
Yeah, to this day.
But you got idiots that'll say that it didn't happen because we haven't dug up anybody's bones or none of that dumb shit. Well, I mean, the story's carried on for how long?
Yeah, and
Exodus to Egypt.
Yeah, and they found certain pharaohs' chariots and all. They found certain artifacts.
Pottery.
Yep.
So it's a lot of proof out there. It's proof out there that they're hiding away. It's got artifacts and all kinds of.
It was beautiful. We don't even need the blueprints. We don't even. It's out there. Like Noah's Ark, certain parts of Noah's Ark found out in Turkey. It's out there. But if we didn't have that, we still would believe. We got great faith.
I got three cents real quick. I'm gonna start with that one. You said, still believe. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 1, verse 35. Your houses I will give to a people that shall come, which having not heard of me, yet shall believe me, to whom I showed no signs, yet they shall do that I have commanded.
Yeah. See, we don't beg for the Most High to show us a sign. You know, once we heard this and it clicked, we believe. All right? And that's it. That's where faith comes in. Go ahead.
They have seen no prophets, yet they shall call their sins to remembrance and acknowledge them. I take to witness the grace of the people to come, little ones rejoicing gladness, and though they have not seen me with bodily eyes, yet in spirit they believe the thing I say.
Yet in spirit they believe the things I say. You know, we never seen the Lord.
Yeah, or a fucking miracle like
Yeah, like our forefathers, they saw a bunch of miracles. Think about the Jakes that was back there with Moses. Moses was literally working miracles in front of these niggas, and then the Most High delivered them out. Right? At first he was doing his thing in front of Pharaoh. He was doing miracles. He had spiritual power, and then they got delivered out of Egypt. They was in the wilderness. They closed their rent. They got fed. They water from a rock, and they still was talking shit.
And you could Google that rock. That rock was found.
And they still was talking shit. So what you supposed to do with a people like that?
Well, all those people that died in Sodom and Gomorrah, man, there's pillars there. There's salt pillars all over the damn.
Yeah, you could tell the building structure.
Like Jake could be the most beautiful people you ever meet, but then Jake could be the most fucking ignorant, retarded motherfuckers you ever meet, man. Go ahead.
It's the book of Judith, chapter 5, verse 17. And while they sit not before their power, they prospered, because Yahweh that hate iniquity was with them. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles, very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And their temple of their power was cast to the ground, and the cities were taken by enemies.
But now they are returned to their power and are come up from the places where they were scattered and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and is seated in the hill country for desolate. It says, now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against Yahweh, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, my Lord, now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God before them, and we become a reproach for all the world.
And that's the time that we're coming in. We're coming into the time where the Lord is going to defend us. The remnant are going to be defended. All right? The elect is going to be protected. I always say there's going to be a hedge around us. Lord willing, those men. So in these times, the Lord is not going to defend the whole nation. All right? You Israelites that's in the world, that's wicked, you commit adultery, doing this, you're doing that, breaking the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, you're going to die of previous deaths. You're going to die all types of different ways. The majority of you going to take the chip. Okay? The majority of you going to trust in Egypt. All right? You're going to cover with a cover, and that's not of the Lord's Spirit, and He's not going to defend you. But the remnant is going to be defended. Okay? That was it. You still have something? So that ultimately, man, you know, that's why we come out here and do this work. So at the end of the day, we can have a protection over us. Because it's gonna be so nasty. You gonna be the majority of these people are gonna be praying to false gods, they different idols. They're gonna be praying to their rosary beads. You know? Yeah. But they don't understand who's gonna be bringing the wrath. It's gonna be Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. They gonna be the ones bringing the wrath. So if you don't have them to protect you, it ain't gonna be a such thing as protection.
When you read the documents, these elites, they want to bring the terror so that they want people to think that the world is run by atheists. Okay, they want people to think that there's no God, and that there's no God to come and save them. But really, the opposite.
Psalms 14:1, the fool have said in his heart there is no God. The Esau wants you to look at him as God. Trust in me, I'm the solution. You know, but really he's not the solution. He's the fucking God. Got it?
He wants you to think, oh, there's all this chaos in the world, and there ain't no divine intervention. So obviously it must be fake. That's what they want to put out there.
And this is a very this society does not fear the Most High. This is a society this society does not have the fear of the Lord. But the Lord is going to make His presence known. And He's going to put His fear in this society.
Maccabees chapter 3, verse. Maccabees chapter 3, verse 36. Then testified he to all men the works of the great God which he had seen with his eyes. And when the king asked Helidorus, who might be a fit man to be sent yet once again to Jerusalem, he said, if you have any enemy or traitor, send him there, or you shall receive him well scourged, if he escape with his life. For in that place, no doubt, there is a special power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. For he that dwells in heaven have his eye on that place and defends it, and he beats and destroys them that come to hurt it. So, Lord is going to defend Israel, especially his elect. We read Romans, what's that, 8th chapter. Yeah, when he said, who can have charge in the house of elect?
The scriptures also say that the Lord is going to avenge the elect. You know? Go ahead.
This is Romans 8:33. Who shall lay anything to the charge
Read
of
up, staff 31.
Romans 8:31? What shall we then say to these things? If Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai be for us, who can be against us? He that
It's a question, but the question is obviously answered. Nobody. You know what I'm saying?
he that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all.
Yeah, once he did that, that shit is now look, if I did that, we ain't gonna still die. He put his son on line to save us. So that's what's gonna happen.
How shall he not with him also freely give us all things? Who shall lay anything to the charge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai's elect? It is Yahweh that justifies. Who is he that condemneth? It is Mashiach that died. Yea, rather that is risen again. Who is even at the right hand of Yahweh, who also maketh intercession for us. Who shall separate us from the love of Mashiach? Shall tribulation, or distress, or persecution, or famine, or nakedness, or peril, or sword?
Remember that.
And it mentions famine and the sword. It mentions things that's in 2 Ezra 15. So the love of Hamashiach will cover us.
And I forgot where to say that. We say like famine, that shit happened before. Even if you do die, we ain't gonna die like that. That's just wicked.
Yeah, well, it already tells us that we're gonna eat. Hey, you might not eat for 2 or 3 days, but you gonna eat. You know, and that's where you know, fasting will help you. Because a lot of times we say we're gonna fast and we don't. We ain't gonna front. Hey, me and this brother right here, we're gonna fast. We end up fucking some shit up later that night. You know, but fasting is important. That's why we have the Day of Atonement. We atone for our sins. That also helps you fast.
It's like mental training, because we know for a fact you can go 2 or 3 days without eating because we've already done it. We know we'll be alright.
Yeah. And what makes it so damn hard to fast sometimes is the drugs in these foods. Because it's not the food that you want. It's really the chemicals that Esau puts in the shit that makes you crave it. And it's not really the food, it's the drugs. And the chemicals that's what your body is yearning for.
Yeah, it was all about one point in time where they put Coke in Coca-Cola. You know, and they still doing that to this day.
Yeah.
That's an example.
Yeah, we know brothers should be drinking no damn Coca-Cola, man. Hey, the only soda you can drink is ginger ale, brother. Nah, I'm just fucking with you. But hey, if I see you with a Pepsi, you might get suspended, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a joke, but that's some of the worst shit you can drink, man. Pepsi and Coca-Cola, and you know, that's yeah. It's all tainted, but it's levels to it. If you got a Pepsi, bro, you tripping.
You got that yin and yang in your hand,
You
man.
better not go to the store and come out with no Pepsi.
There's a yin and yang mystery there.
You go to get a Pepsi, slap that shit out of his hand, man. Go try it again, bro. Go ahead.
Great wisdom.
This is Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. I'll start at verse 12. Therefore will I number 11. But ye are they that forsook the Lord, that forgotten my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that truth, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. Therefore will I number you to the sword, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter. Because when I called, he did not answer.
All the people that's gonna bow down to the slaughter, it's not the Israelites right now. That's who's gonna bow down to the slaughter. God bring answers. He ain't calling other nations. He's not calling the Israelites or the Africans, Israelites.
I delighted not.
And you wanted to keep eating that pork. It's so salty.
I ain't never heard me.
I was raised on this. My mom raised this. This is the mom touched the fucking mom.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord,
Hey, Jeremiah 16 chapter, it says, they shall ask you who did it. And you say, your father. You done worse than your father. So it's your parents.
therefore, thus saith Yahweh Shai, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty.
We got examples of that all through the scriptures. Like, I forgot which prophet it was, Elijah or mentioned that at went to the lady house to make the cakes, and the cakes never ran out. That happened. The raven fed same prophet who had happy people dropped out the sky. That's it.
Hey, if the Most High having to wear a clean bird come and feed you, hey, don't eat.
Yeah.
It's food, right? You ain't gonna be picky, and you ain't gonna be. Ain't no salt in the family. You ask me where the salt at. You know, you gonna eat.
Even if it ain't no burnt or none of that, and the Lord could open up a rock for us.
That's right.
He did it. Where it say, I am the Lord, nothing is too hard for me. He said, I am the Lord, nothing is too hard for me.
The Lord can just make food appear.
Yeah.
It'll just boom.
And he made Moses and Elijah appear before the prophets.
Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit.
Meaning you're gonna suffer.
This is Jeremiah chapter 32, verse 27. Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh.
All flesh.
All flesh. All nations.
God.
Is there anything too hard for me?
Yeah. Is there anything too hard for me?
No.
Yeah, the Most High can. He said he kills and makes alive. He wounds and he heals. He makes rich and make it poor. He bring it down to the grave and bring it up. You know. But that's coming soon. You know, call the way out by the God. That's a purebred right there. That's 100%.
Belong in the zoo.
How can I tell I got spiritual power, spiritual eyes? Down here. Those are purebreds, man. They was grunting some years ago. You know. And then look, boom, he popped out with it. You know, boom. That's how he came out. Like a
Before and after.
Yeah, he was loose for a little season. He said, "Bye." You know, how you doing, man? Then he came out like that. That's the spirit. He went from that to that. Came out with a tie and shit, with a computer, smart. That's how he did it. You know? That's why they fucking shave every morning. Because if he don't shave, he gonna look like that. He don't want to look like that. Go ahead. That was it. That was the spirit, man. Came around the corner with that tie. And he had his woman with him too. Like that's how they came. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 59. Behold, the Lord's hand is not short that it cannot save, neither his ear heavy that it cannot hear.
Yes, say his hand is not shortened that he cannot save. Save from what? Famine, pestilence, death. The Most High can save you from all those things. You know, nothing is too hard for him. And you have to go into hard times believing that. You know, when you feel like you're struggling or you're going through something, you gotta say nothing is too hard for the Most High. He could make me whole.
Yep. And when you read Psalm 71, it says, the Lord will continually resort on him. Continually resort on him.
And
It's
see,
already been taken care of.
yeah, and the Lord could have it to where it may seem like he not gonna look out for you, but he's testing you. He's pushing you.
That's how you gotta remember patience.
Yeah.
Stay patient.
You may be hungry as hell. Like, damn, it's day 3, going on day 4, you're in the famine, and the Most High, wow, come through for you. pushed you to your maximum capacity. Because the Most High know how long you can go without. But He might push you to the max.
Also, the Lord to do that just so you can call to Him. You know?
Yeah, we get this from Sirach 2 and 4. Whatsoever is brought upon you, take cheerfully and be patient when you are changed to a lower state.
In the lower state could be any situation the Lord puts you in. Down and out. You know, you gotta be patient.
This is a quote from a letter that Albert Pike, who's considered like one of the highest so-called prophets of Freemasonry, right? And they still go. He wrote this in 1871, and they're still following the blueprint today. It says, "The Third World War must be fermented by taking advantage of the differences caused by Agent tour of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam and political Zionism mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion." We see this with Ukraine, man. They're trying to get Turkey on this side, Turkey on that side, right? Either with Ukraine or with Russia.
And you got the moral, where you go into moral, you can use like this abortion thing going on. Then all the homosexual is a training gonna be able to fucking wrestle my daughter. That's moral.
You got Disney, which is a family company, who should want there to be more babies and children. That's the products that they're flying their employees out to get fucking abortions if they're in a state where they don't allow it. That's wickedness on a whole other level. Here it is, these devils, man. There's all these homeless people on the fucking street who go fly somebody out to get a damn abortion. We shall unleash. Oh wait, sorry. Meanwhile, other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere, the citizens obliged or obligated to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization. Which is what they're doing, man. If you ain't against the New World, if you ain't for the New World Order, social media, man, they'll have their social media army destroy you. And the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, whose theistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction. Right? So they're gonna destroy the belief of all you Christians, man. Because you believe in fairy tales anyway. Anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in public view. This sounds like this guy could have been, Klaus Schwab could have been this guy in the reincarnation. I didn't think this was going to be this long. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time. Alright, that's pretty much it. But yeah, it just goes to show you, man, when you see what's going on in the world, like, you're following that same plan, you know?
Hey, so with that, Lord willing, brothers and sisters were edified. We're going to close up. We're going to give all praise, honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Once again, double honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us this truth through the Holy Spirit. Peace and blessings and salutations to the elect. All right, repent because the times are evil. And Lord willing, we'll see you brothers next week. Shalom.